So I want to make some very broad remarks, in fact on three areas. One, this aspect of self-reliance. Second, the aspect of the scientific research and technology development and the relationship between two. And third, some paradigm shift that we need to have in our education system. And I will be brief. I'm aware that it's already quite late, but I think it's important, and I want to spend a few minutes talking about them. First, the self-reliance. Now, many people have different ways of looking self-reliance. I'm born in a Gandhian family, and I'm quite aware that even within the Gandhian families, there are different shades to way self-reliance is being viewed at. To me, self-reliance does not mean creating an iron curtain around you and say that I will live within this confined environment all by my own without depending on anybody. There may be some merit to that, but it doesn't take you very far as a society. I think at individual level, for purpose of self-enlightenment, there may be or there is some merit in doing that, but in terms of lifting the society in a competitive world, and the competition is something you cannot avoid. In a large system, it is just impossible to avoid competition, and if you want to lift a society in a competitive world, then you must define self-reliance as a way of conducting yourself where no vulnerabilities will set in your path. Talking in technology terms, self-reliance doesn't mean that you will not get any equipment from outside, or you will not accept any technology from outside. But it means that you will be very choosy. You will examine every transaction and make sure that by indulging in such access, you don't become a lame person or a lame society. You make sure that you will not lose your core strength which existed, or the core strength you are about to develop. And keeping that in view, I think if you interact meaningfully with your eyes and ears wide open, I personally feel you would come out stronger by such interaction, and that's the way I look at self-reliance. I want to give an example. An example is that of an upbringing of a child. When the child is very young, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, even 7 years, 8 years, the parents do keep child in a somewhat protected environment, which is necessary. Necessary for protecting the child, necessary for a proper upbringing of child, necessary for making sure that the child develops as a worthy citizen. But if you continue to keep that protected envelope around the child, even if when child becomes 20 years or 25 years or even older, I don't have to tell you what will happen. You will make that child absolutely, I think I must use an Hindi word, pangu. And we don't want self-reliance to take us to that stage. And so I think the technology development in atomic energy, or for that matter in other scientific departments where we have achieved a lot of excellence, you'll find all up there we have been interacting with the external world, but then we have been interacting essentially on our terms. If something is not available, we build it ourselves. If something is available, no harm in taking, provided it doesn't inhibit us in terms of our own capability. Now, whatever has been done in terms of the international civil nuclear cooperation, I think also should be viewed in the same context. The capabilities in the Department of Atomic Energy, capability in the Indian industry, capability of the overall S&T system in the country, I think is strong enough as a result of sustained work over several decades now, that we can only become stronger out of this cooperation. And I think Dr. Banerjee did not mention, but we soon expect a Indian PWR also on the horizon, right? So that's what I mean by pursuing the path of self-reliance. Pardon me? Yeah, and also export of reactors. So it's a part of the way ahead. And so that much about self-reliance. Let me go to the next topic, and that is science-technology interface. We're all very proud of the technological achievements of our country. Call it in Department of Atomic Energy, call it in Department of Space, DRDO, and many other places. In fact, even industries. I think lots of technological achievements are there. Kotwal is sitting here. L&T slogan is, we make things that make India proud. We are really proud of that. But then you ask a question, how much of that technology is based on scientific research done in India? You ask a question, how much of Indian scientific research we have transformed into Indian technology? And I think you won't get a satisfactory answer. Now, I think that's a gap. We are actually very, very capable in terms of scientific research. Our contribution to world of scientific research are quite significant, regardless of whatever one may say about publications increasing or declining. I'm not wanting to get into that statistics, but it's a time-tested fact that Indians have made significant contribution to world of scientific research. But all our technology, either we had developed the hard way, and as talking to Dr. Funke, I had to say that yes, in the process we might have delayed, or we have acquired that technology at a great cost. And cost may be in terms of money, cost may be in terms of some compromises, sometimes the cost may be even political. And I think we can alleviate that situation quite a bit if we can short-circuit this translation of scientific research into the technology development right within the country. And there is yet another but more important element to this, and that is we are all dreaming India will become a superpower, India will become a big number one country or things like that. But I think the simple fact is, if you want to become number one country, you must become number one at least in a few technologies. If you say that I will get the best technology and replicate it here, take it from me, it's obvious that you can at best become a good number two, but you can never become number one. And if you want to become number one, you have to short-circuit scientific research into technology development right within the country. And sooner we emphasize this fact and do this in a big way, better it would be for our country. And